We start with the Sefer Shmiras Haloshon, and today's topic is key to the spiritual success. And it says, which man desires life, who loves days of seeing good, guard your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. And turn from evil, do good, seek peace and pursue it. It's from Tehillim 34. Okay, so before we continue, let's see what it says. One more time. Which man desires life, right? Who loves days of his seeing good. So David HaMelech gives us very clear formula what to do in this life, right? If you want to see good in your life, you have to stick to this formula. Guard your tongue from evil, and your lip from speaking deceit. So basically, try to minimize your conversation about other people, if it's for a constructive purpose. If, for example, somebody needs help and you personally cannot help, but you know somebody else who might help another person, so you're allowed to get that person enough information and see if that person is going to agree. Let's say if he or she said, okay, yes, I'm willing to help, then you can give more information. Right, but don't share like your problem just with random people. Continue. Turn from evil and do good. So that's a formula for kiruv, as we said many times, and that's not only for kiruv. How a person should do teshuvah and how a person must progress in life. So you don't start from good and then you're hoping that evil is going to follow by itself. No, you stop doing evil and then do good. Okay, of course you can do it in parallel, but the stress on stopping evil. Speak peace and pursue it. Okay, meaning what? Don't just give good speeches, but you have to actually live by your speeches. Okay. Continue. The commentator explained that the term life refers to that of the world to come, while days refers to the man's years in this world, which are only days comparing to entire life of the world of the next world. So it starts one more time. The which man desires life, right? Who loves days of seeing good, right? Days of seeing good, meaning in this world, and life in the world to come. Okay. So in the world to come, which is called life, right, starts with our working very hard for it here in this world. Continue. We are commanded to fulfill 613 mitzvahs. Regarding all of them, Hashem said to us, see that I have placed before you today life and life, and which is good, and you should, and death and bad, right? And you should love Hashem, your God, to go in His ways and observe my commandments. It's from Dvarim 30 and verses 15 and 16. Right? So Hashem said, I placed before you life, right? Meaning Hashem created us in this world to go in a good place, and that's what He wishes for us to do. And everything we have to do is just love Hashem, stick to His mitzvahs, and that's it. You go to the good place, right? And it's promise. Why then does David, in the above verse, said that the quality of one's life in both worlds primarily depends on guarding one's tongue? Right, so it's a good question. So Hashem said, I placed before you all of the 613 mitzvahs, right, and you have to choose. But David said, no, it's only if you're going to guard your tongue, you're going to get the world to come. It's a good question, right? A little contradiction, looks like. In the opening passages of this work, we have offered one answer to this question. Below, we offer more on this subject. Okay, so what is the answer? right? So one more time, what's the question? And Dvarim says, if you Hashem said, if you're going to perform all my commandments, right, and you're going to get in a good place. But David HaMelech said, no, only if you guard your tongue from evil, you're going to get into a good place. The answer from Chofetz Chaim, one of the answers. In preface to the Chofetz Chaim, we explain how the bitter sin of Lashon Hara can involve transgression of numerous positive and negative commandments, to the degree that it's not found in any other sin. Thus, Shmiras Haloshon is the key to fulfillment of one's obligation, both toward Hashem and toward his fellow man. So, as we said many times before, so the most common activity a person does during the day is speaking, right? So, and since it's very easy to sin while speaking, so it becomes the most important mitzvah, right? So, for example, I don't know what would be other example. A person did not put tefillin. So, how many times a day? It's only once. That's it. He did not do tefillin once. But here, right, every second, every minute, how many words of Lashon Hara person can say in 1 minute, right? And plus, it depends. It's actually that's what we learn in our morning class. This introduction to Chofetz Chaim. It's a different book, and it says so a person, like, theoretically, of course it's only theoretically, but can get to almost 20 sins, right, for speaking one sentence of Lashon Hara. Of course, it's theoretically for all of this, if fall into place, but even let's say even half of that, even 10 sins or 7. Just for one sentence. So now we understand how dangerous it is. And we're talking about the positive and negative commandments. When a person is careful not to speak disparagingly of his fellow or to embarrass him, when he demonstrates caution in avoiding comments that can aggravate dispute, and then he is careful to avoid transgression of the commandments related to evil talk, both positive and negative, then he will surely avoid more blatant sins. Okay, so let's read this again, and we're going, because he just lists, but there is a lot to say. Of course, we're going to try to keep it short, but let's do it one more time. When a person is careful not to speak disparagingly of his fellow. So many times, like all of these comments, and I see in the Jewish world, non-Jewish world, doesn't matter, like pointless comments. What is this guy? He's late again? Like why would you say that? Like, just mind your own business. You understand? So he's late. Maybe I don't know. Somebody's sick in his family. Maybe he has to go to work. Maybe this. Maybe that. Okay, so he's late, right? And everybody start giggling. Yeah, this guy, he's late. You understand? So all of this conversation, first of all, like most of them absolutely useless, right? Or to embarrass him. Or this guy came late and where were you, and stuff, and everybody turned their head. Where was he? Stuff like that. That's we try not to embarrass anybody. And even if we think that the person did something wrong, still, like, it's only our suspicion. It was not proven. So don't try to embarrass. Like, never embarrass anybody, unless it's a known Rasha and he's going against Hashem, heal Hashem in your presence. Yeah, that's you're obligated to embarrass him and humiliate him. That would be Kiddush Hashem. But otherwise, it's like. In the majority of the cases, maybe 99% of the cases, it's not true. When he demonstrated caution in avoiding comments, especially on the internet, right, avoiding comments that can aggravate dispute. So, for example, we post our videos on several platforms, and some people, they put such a stupid comments, and I was going over the comments, and the person who posted a comment, and then I replied. So he was trying to delete his comment. I mean, he deleted on that platform. You can restore the comment. Of course, I did not restore. I don't want to embarrass him, but I left my reply in there, just in case people want to see my reply. Very interesting. And when he is careful to avoid transgression or other commandments related to evil talk, both in positive and negative, as we said. So it's, I think it's 21, if I remember correctly, it's 21 positive and negative transgressions. Then he will surely avoid the more blatant sins, right? So all of these sins, like it's like a snow cone, right? One sticks to another, as we learned in Pirkei Avos. So we said one sin brings another. So what is the punishment for the sin? It's going to bring another sin. I mean, Hashem is going to give that person opportunity to do next sin. He won't accept upon himself the scrupulously avoid causing harm or shame through the spoken word. Surely he will not do through his action. So I mean, one cause, one thing leads to another. Like for example, somebody told me today, somebody had argument at work and got a little crazy, out of hand. Person lost work. Like, why would did it work? Like if you ask it, was it worth it? Like to lose your job, now you're out of job, you cannot pay your rent. Is it like that's what you did? Okay, so I mean, like it's always consequences. So we have to see, like we have to always know that Hashem is watching. Hashem is watching, and there would be consequences. Thus, one who zealously refrain from speaking Lashon Hara will, through such a self-discipline, come to fulfill the obligation toward his fellow. Okay, so we start.